What's up, guys? Jason Gavin here with King of Pressure Wash, and tonight I'm going to talk about a subject about how to get pressure washing jobs in the summertime when the phone quits ringing and when the ads stop working because it's summertime and people are going on vacation and they're not worried about pressure washing. And so I'm going to talk about ways that you can get pressure washing jobs in the summertime. Now, what I'm going to say tonight ain't easy, and I don't know if I've ever talked about this subject I'm going to talk about tonight. I've never talked about this subject. I don't know if I've ever talked about this subject. And this is a way that you can get jobs so that way you can close more and you can make more money through the good old June, July, and August. Now, I know June is over because today is June 30th, and that is fine. But I'm going to talk about ways you can get business in July and August. And who wants to know how to get money in July and August? Put in the comments, me, right? Because we all want to keep growing our business even in June, July, and August when it is the slow time. So, with that, the book of the week. I don't actually I'm going to look it up over here because it is a great book. I just finished it. I think it is probably one of those books that you should be reading because it is a great book. I don't know if I've talked about it. I think I actually did talk about this book, but I'm going to bring it up again because I think this is a book that you all should be reading because who knows how to get more work, right? I'll tell you how to get more work is by being amazing at customer service, right? And so that is how you are able to, if I can find it here, here's the book of it right here. I'm going to pull it up on my screen over here. And this is a book that it is something that he was a restaurant owner, and it really ties into how you can also do this too. And it is not that right there of, let's see if I can zoom out here, zoom out, move over something. I don't know, do something here. I might be on the struggle bus today. There we go. Unreasonable Hospitality. I think this is a great book. It is one to get yourself to show how you are way better, and because honestly you don't have competition, right? The only competition is how you can compete against yourself and how you can get better on yourself. And so I would highly recommend you listen to this book, read this book, whatever floats your fancy, whatever you do best at. For me, it is definitely by listening. Now, I have read this book, the biggest book I've ever read so far, which is another great book. If you haven't, this is on your book list too. But Unreasonably Hospitality, this is probably one that I am going to read again because it is a great book and it talks about how to be awesome. And what do you need to do to grow your business? Be awesome, right? Because the awesome you are, the better off you are, and the better off you will become. Hit the like button. I like what Tiger said. That does help me out. Hit the like button. Share it to your friends. Do whatever you need to do. That does help me out. Share it to your favorite Facebook group that likes to talk crap about whatever, but share it out. I appreciate it. It does help me out, and it is awesome. So I always like to see who we have in the room. We got Alvin. Mr. Alvin, how are you doing? We got Bearded Soft Wash. Bearded Soft Wash in the house in the perfect, up in the northwestern side, on the opposite side of the country, up in the north. We got TC's, he's awesome. We got Mr. Jamie in the building. He is going to do amazing things and awesome things We got to change our mindset and how we think. And so that is what is awesome and how we can do that. So we got Jamie in the house. We got Grandpa in the house, Mr. Brian Fletcher. How are you doing? He is awesome. If you've ever met Brian, I would love to hear. Just put in the comments. Brian is awesome. He is really cool guy. Started his business in his 60s, and it is amazing to see how far he's come and how awesome he's done, and doing things that I hear people tell me you can't do it all the time, of Facebook Lives and different things. And Brian is 60 some years old and still doing it, which is awesome. We got Mr. Sidney in the house. How are you doing? Who else we got in the house here? Let's see. My computer's being stupid. We got a bunch of the me, which is awesome. So let's see what else we got. Nice shirt there. Well, thank you. I'm a part-timer and struggling getting out to knock on doors. Hit the like button. Competing against myself, that's wild, but that is what you have to do. Oh my gosh, Pressure Washing Pro, how are you doing? We got Armando in the house. What's up, Armando? And thanks for Jason Brian puts on there. So, New Jersey, Strictly Clean in the house. So we got all kinds of people all over the country, all over the world joining in. And so tonight we are going to talk about something that I have never talked about. I've talked about a lot of things. And tonight I'm going to talk about how one of my guys in my mentorship, he started out last year in June or July in pressure washing and Christmas lights, and he is in his basically first season full. He ain't full time. He's still working at the firehouse. But last year he didn't do very well. But this year he's been crushing. He did hit a $20,000 month, and then he hit the good old June and July, and it went right. It went down fast. And so that is what happens sometimes, especially when I've been telling people to make sure that you go out there and get that commercial work in April, May, and June when you're busy and you're like, I'm busy and I don't want to go do commercial work, Jason. But then June, July, and August come and it's like, woo, it slows down. And a lot of people think that it's just they suck, whatever. But in all honesty, it's been going on since I started my business in 2012. It happened year after year after year after year. And once you hit about year 3, year 4, year 5, usually, like I got another guy in my mentorship, he's on year 4 and he hasn't slowed down. He hit $100,000 April, he hit $100,000 May, and he's going to probably hit $100,000 June. And that is what is awesome, right? But it's when everything is working right, and it's different versus when you're just starting out and everything slows down. And so Christian is the guy that is in my mentorship, and so he has made himself of, I am going to go knock on so many doors until I get a $2,000 day, or I'm not stopping. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about doing something hard. We're going to talk about doing something that is not fun. You might not be good at talking in front of people. You might not be good at talking at knocking on doors. But I'm going to talk about tonight is door knocking. So I have my friends Matt and Destiny up in Springfield, Ohio, and they started their business in door knocking. And they would, one person would go down one street, the other person go down the other street, and that is how they started their business. Now, from that, they've done some Google ads and Google local search, and they've been really lucky on their Google local search, and their Google local search has been killing it. But for the first year, they would go door knocking. And so now Christian does door knocking and is doing okay with it, right? He closed, it's a numbers game. He's close rates about 25 to 30%. and he goes and knocks on doors until it's time that you got $2,000 worth of work before you quit knocking on doors. And so it's not easy. It sucks. But, you learn a whole lot of things when you go knock on a door, and that's a cold knock, right? Your stomach sits there, and it's feeling like you're sick. It makes you want to throw up. You don't want to. You will come up in your own brain of 500 reasons why you cannot knock on this door. Was there no soliciting sign somewhere? Am I allowed to be here? Am I going to get shot? Is there going to be a big giant gorilla bear come out of the door? Right? Our brain will sit there and tell you 57 things why you should not knock on that door. And so door knocking, if you can get this skill down, it can be an amazing skill of growing your business. Now, it's a skill. It's a thing that's hard to do. It's not easy. It's not fun. It's hard to scale it, but it can be done, right? And so as we are growing a business, and as summertime comes, and you can be running ads, you can be running Google ads, and I promise you will still spend the same $1,000, $2,000 a month in Google ads if you have them turned on, and you're probably not going to close a whole lot of them because it's summertime, and summertime slows down. If you don't think it don't slow down, it does. So when I had my business, what I did to get through the summertime is my first few years, I did deck cleaning and staining. I want to tell you something. It sucks big balls. It sucks. It's hot. It's the sealer or the stain isn't the favorite color of whoever. Like we did a $10,000 seal job and the woman didn't like it. But luckily the husband was the one that picked it out. But it's back to we couldn't make this person happy. We had this job of sealing this deck, and the deck wasn't this far off the freaking ground, and there was rocks up underneath the stupid deck. And we had gotten stain that had dropped down onto the rocks. And so we had to go and buy rocks and put over top of those rocks and spread them over and turn over rocks underneath this stupid deck because it wasn't what they weren't very happy about it. So that's what I hated doing deck. So I understand that it slows down in the wintertime or in the summer. It slows down in the wintertime too, but it slows down in the summertime. June, July, and August are going to slow down. Now, what I did is I started doing a lot of commercial work. So in March, April, May, and sometimes June, I would run 3 trucks residential if I could. June, July, and August, I would run 3 trucks commercial versus 1 the other way. So March, April, May, I would run 3 trucks as residential because that was my cash grab, and I would run 1 truck commercial. And then in the summertime, I would flip it. I would flip for June, July, and August. I would run 3 trucks commercial and 1 truck residential. I always like to run 1 truck residential because that was my cash flow. Because yes, I had a big gob of cash come in from here, but a lot of times we're trying to get our trucks running and we're in the hole, so we're trying to get back out of the hole, and we're trying to get our employees coming back and all of that kind of stuff. And then June, July, and August, it slows down, so that's where I would do the commercial. Well, commercial sometimes doesn't get paid right away, right? So sometimes we might not get paid till 60, 90 days to get paid on commercial. So that's why I always kept 1 truck running residential and 3 trucks through commercial, to hopefully to keep that 1 truck would keep my cash flow from coming in here. So that's kind of how I ran the business. So how we can run the business, and you might be by yourself and it slows down in the summertime and you didn't work on your commercial, now's the time you can go door knocking. Now, find the neighborhoods that are clean. Don't be going to the neighborhoods because here's the deal. Matthew and Destiny, when they would go out and doing door knocking, they would go find all of the nasty, dirty houses, and they would go knock and knock and knock and knock, and sometimes they would go 1, 2, 3 days without getting a job. Now, when they found out about me and they joined King of Pressure Washing in the membership, and I got talking, I'm like, go find the neighborhoods that are clean. And he was like, this is stupid. I'm like, just do it. And guess what? They had closed like $2,000 or $3,000 before lunch, because they went and found the clean houses and not the dirty houses. Because a lot of times, if we go into the wrong neighborhoods, they don't care, right? If the houses are so green that you can see them a mile away and every house is there, that neighborhood is not your neighborhood. You need to go find the clean houses because they want to keep it clean. You need to go find the yards that are manicured, that they pay thousands of dollars to make their yard look amazing. You want to go find where they park the vehicles and they back them in and they got big boats and they're out there waxing it and they're cleaning it and they're taking care of it and they're doing that, right? Those are the people you want to go after. We don't care about the people that don't care, because they don't care how dirty it is. You can go and tell them how dirty it is, and they're going to be like, yeah, I ain't got money for that, right? Because they don't have the money to keep up their property, and they don't. It is what it is, right? And so this is something that you have to think about when we are looking at it. And a lot of times we don't believe it, but this is how you're able to go find the right houses that need it. Now, sometimes you're like, well, I'm gonna go find the richest neighborhood out there. Sometimes the richest people out there, they've gotten there because they're rich, right? They got there because they have not spent all their money on everything else, and they're tight. And so sometimes you got to find that house that they got to keep up with the Joneses. Their houses are anywhere from 500, 400 in here, 400 to $1 million. Some of you could be $1 million house as a shack, right? So you got to kind of look at what your shacks are versus what your shacks are not. And so when you go door knocking, it's a numbers game. Your feelings are going to get hurt. You're going to get crushed, but then you got to crush it too, right? And so not everybody's going to tell you yes. Not everybody's going to get you in the door, but the people that do can be the way that you can get this. On average, 11% of the homeowners doesn't care about what their home looks like. And I would agree 100%. They squeak when they walk. Exactly. They're so tight, they squeak when they walk. Now, what are some things that you need to do to be good at door knocking? Well, the first thing you need to do with any type of sales is you need to believe in yourself, right? You need to believe that you are amazing. You need to believe that you are awesome. You need to believe that you are the best thing that they need done. Because if you don't believe that, they're not going to believe it. I promise you. If you do not believe in yourself, they will not believe in you either. And so if you don't come in there confident and ready to take the world and smiling and happy to be there, they're going to be, if you're all like, hey, I'm in the neighborhood and I was just wanting to see if you want your house washed, they're going to say no. And you're going to say, okay, have a great day. Versus, hey, how are you doing? I'm Jason Gottman. I'm in the neighborhood, and I seen that you love to keep your house up, and I just gave your neighbor a quote, and I wanted to see if you wanted a quote to get your house done. And be excited and be thrilled and act like you are awesome and make sure that you're awesome and believe in yourself, because that's what's going to make you want people to do, right? And that's what it takes for you to get where you need to be at. And it's not easy. And it's going to take some time, and you need to come up with a good script, and you need to be able to not just talk about pressure washing. When you're door knocking, it is kind of just about pressure washing, but you got to be able to convey and work through it and get through it. And this is how you can get $2,000 days in the summertime. I know, you know how I know? Because Christian is getting $2,000 days. no matter if he knocks on one door or 100 doors to get to that $2,000 a day. And that's what you got to do. You got to be consistent. You got to be prolific, and you got to be relentless. You got to do it when it sucks. You got to do it when it's 100 degrees out. You got to do it when you don't want to do it. You got to do it, right? That's just what it is. Because if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it. And then you're going to come in here and say, well, Jason, you just don't understand. You can't get that in my area. And I'm going to tell you, you're absolutely right, because you know why? You don't believe that you can. And if you don't believe that you can get it, you ain't going to get it. And that's how it works. I'm telling you over and over and over, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you are awesome, if you don't believe that you are the solution to their problem, you will not get that job. They can sense just a little bit of hesitation that you do not believe in it, and I promise you, they will not come. They will not work for you. They will tell you no, and you're going to say, okay, right? But if you believe it, you believe that you're awesome, you believe that you can do it, it will come. Write it down. Have a vision. Be like, hey, you know what? I want $2,000 days. Maybe you want $1,000 days. Maybe you haven't made it to $1,000 day. Put it on paper, right? Put it on paper. Have a vision of it. I want to do $1,000. Do a vision board, right? Because when you do it, that's what you have to do. Wow, red face. Yeah, I was out in the sun all day. So today was one that I am on water rescue, and so today we were certifying our new divers for become divers. You have to do a 6 weeks in the pool, and then we do one long day. We do 2 dives in the lake, and then we do 1 dive in the river for each person. And so today we had 3 people that completed. Generally, it's not an easy thing. There was actually 6 people that started and only 3 people that finished. Usually it is a 50% pass rate is usually what it ends up being. Whoever starts out, only 50% of the people will finish. And so that's why I was out in the sun, and it was hot, and I probably should have put on, I was trying to stay in the shade, but probably where it's hitting off that water, the sun off the water and looking at it, that is why I have red face. I even offered to clean red clay stains off of a house for free and get no for an answer to get ahead of the no soliciting signs. So with that, tell me what you do to get jobs in the summertime when it slows down. Obviously, my other thing is go knock on commercial doors, go knock on, go into hotels, call hotels, go into car dealerships, call car dealerships, go into facility managers, go into another good thing that I know is the apartment association. I know a lot of times in the summertime is when they have their like their stuff that you can do for the apartment association. All of these are things that you can do to get business, because that's the goal, is you have to get business, right? And so with that, what questions do you all have for me? And I'm going to scroll up here and see what all we got going on. What's up, Calvin? Perfect timing. Been avoiding this for so long. And sometimes it's one of those things that it's like, I don't want to do it. That sucks, but sometimes we got to do the suck. This upcoming week, I'm getting cooked. Yes, last week was hot here. And then yesterday, it kind of rained and cooled down. I've had someone freak out on me for knocking and asking about a car, so it's going to be tough. I never said it was easy. What's the average a pressure washer should be making weekly? And that depends. There is no reason that if you do your marketing and you're putting money in marketing money, that you can't do $1,500 to $2,000 per truck. $10,000 weeks, which is $40,000 months, is where you can be at. For almost to make $2,000 a day will take you 10 to 25 jobs. With their discount, they offer on offering 100 to 150. I'm not watching 10 jobs I never said to do a job for $10 or $100, right? I mean, one job can be $2,000, or that's where you got to upsell it and give your pricing. And I'm not lowering my prices just because I am door knocking. Um, let's see what other questions we got in here. Uh, um, so don't go to houses that clearly have algae. Not necessarily, no, because a lot of times just because they have algae doesn't mean they're going to clean up. Some of the most commercial properties will take 30 to 90 days to get paid. It's not always a yep, exactly. Um, they squeak when they walk. I'm going to leave my feelings at home. And you know what? Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it's one of those things that you just got to make it happen. Are you planning to do any training in Orlando? What's the cost for the training? I am not planning on doing it in Orlando. Maybe in the wintertime. Actually, I haven't thought about wintertime yet. I am thinking about doing some classes maybe in January and February in Florida, but that's going to be January and February. So right now, my pressure washing class is $1,000, and if you do both pressure washing and Christmas light, is $1,500, and that's a 3-day class. 2-day class for pressure washing, 3 days. 1 day is pressure washing. You actually get the pressure wash. Day 2 is all day marketing, literally 8 hours of marketing stuff and how to sell to people and all kinds of awesome stuff. And then Sunday is Christmas lights. Big time is here. Rich people just didn't get rich by spending money. They got rich for being cheap, and that is true. There's nothing to do but to do it and just get it done. I'm going to do boots on the ground, Old Faithful. Thank goodness I don't have to knock on doors anymore. You have to get your butt kicked a few years and it gets easier. And it's back to, I never said it's easy, and business is not easy. But once you get a book of customers, once you start getting customer list, right? You've been in business 3-4 years. You got a bunch of, you get a 2, 3, 4,000 customer list, 10,000 customer list. Then it's, hey, how can I keep emailing them? Can I send them a text message? Can I send them a discount for summer? Whatever I can do to try to get them for my services. How would you approach an assisted living for a roof wash? It's clearly dirty. Go knock and see who's in charge of it. Who's the facility manager? Go knock and see. Go talk to them and say, hey, this is what I can do. Go do a test spot. Go do a test spot on the front of the roof, right in the front. Be like, I can show you I can get this clean. Here's a test spot. Put a little bleach up there, and then they'll have a big, nice clean spot in front, and then they can be like, then that way they can do it. Confidence, and how your words, things when approaching clients are key words in your presentation you give. How to lose a job over talking, mumbling, and no knowledge. Confidence is a huge one. Another big one too, the way to lose jobs is you talking too much. If you're doing 90% of the conversation, you're probably going to lose a job, right? It's all about having them do 90% of the talking, because then they'll tell you what is wrong. And you know what? I'm gonna put a link in here if I can find it here. Where was it? Alex Hormozy just did a video or a podcast about how you can lose business and how you can actually shoot, my brain is dead. How you can basically, by asking the right questions, if they say, man, that's too much, then you can say, well, what's too much? And they're going to tell you why it's too much. And then at the end of it, then you can use their words to sell them on it, right? And so it was, let's see if I can find it, because it's the Game Podcast. and it was just the other day that it was on, so hopefully I'll be able to find it. Um, let's see, there it is. And 9 secrets, that's it right there. 9 secrets that top sales people do. That one right there. Let me share it, copy it, copy link, and I'll put it in the comments here for you all, so that way you can have it in the comments. This podcast here, this podcast here is the one I'm talking about, that you should go listen to. I will show you on my screen, so that way if you see it, you will know which podcast I'm talking about. But he talks about how you can use the right words, ask hard questions right here, and then ask again, right? These are 2 things of what you should do. This is why you should listen to this podcast if you struggle on sales. This podcast is going to help you become better with sales. This podcast here alone, you will guarantee you will learn a lot from it. I promise you. I won't lie to you too much. No, I like you all. How do you politely ask for reviews from customers you've already asked more than once? Well, you got to ask, and not just ask once, but ask 100 times. You need to ask before. You need to be asking on the phone. The original phone call, you need to start asking then, and then you need to ask when you knock on the door, when you first do the job. Then you need to ask and actually have the card in hand and say, let me have your phone. And if you do it, help them do it, right? And if they they can't sign in, then you need to do a video testimonial. So, hey, I'll film you on my video here, so then that way you can do it. And then you're going to send them a text, and then you're going to send them an email, and then you're going to send them another text, and then you're going to send them another email, right? We're going to ask 4 or 5 times, even after, if we didn't get it on the job, then we're going to ask 4 or 5 times more, and we're going to tell them the importance of why we need these reviews. And this is how you get more reviews. No jobs a day, put out signs, and fix battery issue. It's like you're always working on stuff. I know the feeling. Thank you for your response. How can you convince a potential customer that you and your prices are worth it? Are you giving the value? Are you talking a lot, or are you letting them talk a lot so you can sell what they're telling you, right? It's back to when they say your prices are too high, well, tell me what it is. Tell me when they say I need to talk to my spouse, well, tell me what you need to talk to your spouse about, right? Or what am I not covering? And those are things that you can do to ask. Don't be like, I need to talk to my spouse, and be like, okay, right? And let it go there. I got 25,000 flyers and a couple of door 4x8 signs to drop in my town. Lee Engel, had my first y'all sign by competitors. Don't you love yard signs that get stolen? This is the first year that I make my first $17,000 month. That's awesome, dude. That's a lot of money for somebody, right? $17,000. That's a huge. You're only $3,000 away, and you hit a $20,000 month. How awesome is that? When bundling your services, do you recommend giving a discount? If so, not always. I mean, you can. I know some people, like, if you do 2 services, you get 5% off. If you do 3 services, you get 10% off. The only thing is if I tell you to do that, what I tell a lot of people is then raise your prices at the 10%. So that way, if they don't pick it, then you're actually making, right, on the original one. So if I want to be here, I'm going to raise my prices, so that way if they get that discount, it's going to make me more. If they don't do the discount, I'm going to make more money. Looking to make the following month $25,000 after my $17,000 is to go to sing. Yard signs has done the work for me, putting them in the right areas. I personally love yard signs. Yard signs is one of my favorite. Even, what grew my business the most was Google Ads and SEO, and getting my Google local and getting my maps up. That's what helped me the most. But yard signs, I still put them out because they work. They make the phone ring. And I like the phone ringing. These new guys and those in my area are super cheap, washing for $100 to $150, offering a job on top of that, having to wash 10. And here's the thing about this, guys. You know, I get this in pressure washing and Christmas lights. Man, I'm going to start cheap. I'm going to get these jobs, and then I'll raise my prices. Well, here's the problem with starting out cheap. You know, a lot of times, always people ask me, Jason, why do you tell people to start out at 20 to 30 cents a square foot for a house wash, or 40 cents a square foot for a house wash, right? Or 35 to 55 cents for roof cleaning. You know why I tell you that? Is it because I know you're going to get a lot of no's? No. Because I know that you're going to make money. And I also know that if you are successful in selling that, you are going to make a lot more, and you will not go out of business like the guy that's selling it for $200, $150 house wash, $200 house wash. Because that guy is going out of business. I will promise you they will go out of business. Now, I know there's a company that does the $79 house wash and he's killing it, but it's a Walmart, right? And there ain't that many Walmarts out there. There's a lot of Walmarts out there, but there's only one Walmart owner of the company, and and nobody else can compete with that, you know. And it's all about cheap price. There's some people that are going to be cheap price. There's some people, you know. Last week I had someone on here and said he charged $325 more than his competitor was bidding, and he got the job. It's not always about cheap price. We always think that the cheap price is the best thing. I would much rather do one job at $2,000 and be there, 4 or 5 hours than do 10 jobs and make $1,000 because I'm $99 or $200 and I do 10 jobs. Because now I got to go 10 different places and I can't do 10 houses in one day to make the same $2,000 that I made in 5 or 6 hours of the other way around. The sun cooked your train of thought. Yeah. I joined King of Pressure Wash, but haven't found where you help with a website. It is under the marketing section, and there should be a form on there. If not, send me a message. You can message me on Facebook, or you can call. You can text this number, and my assistant will send you the link. What is the and if you want to know if you want to sign up to know when I go live, you can text the word King, King, 859-696-1101. But Bearded, if you just text this number here, you don't have to put King in there. Just text it to me, and tomorrow I will talk to my assistant, and we can get you the link that you need for that. I have to get back to work to make my $36,000. Oh, funerals are not cheap. I know for a fact. I know that sucks. Sorry for your loss. Going to start saving money for yard signs and just rent the equipment. How many yard signs should I start with, and how much a week of putting out in Orlando? I would try to do 25 to 50. You can get them for about $350 for 100. I would get them at moneybushes.com. Moneybushes.com is where you can get them at, and you can get them for about $350. That's the stakes and the yard signs. Keep them simple. Don't be putting a bunch of other things, right? Christmas light installers, pressure washing, and a large phone number. That's what you want to put on your yard signs. Pressure washing and your phone number. Should I start branding my yard signs? No. Pressure washing and a phone number. Pressure washing and a phone number. Lots of brick driveways in my area, and I've been capitalizing off this little niche. I've been hand wanding every job with a turbo nozzle. Would a surface cleaner work on brick pavers or clog it? It will work. You just got to make sure that, on brick pavers, yeah, I do them on brick pavers all the time. Never had an issue with it. Let's see. What did F bomb put? Something, I don't know. Let's see. Here we are. You start out cheap and you become known as the cheap guy, and it shows no value in your business. You work for yourself out of business and overwork yourself. Unfortunately, yes, you are right. Been having trouble to get people have any interest in the service and door to door. Any advice on getting more interest? You know, back to, you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe you're awesome. You got to believe your company's awesome. You got to believe that you have the solution to their problem. And sometimes it's not always about just going up to the door and saying the pressure washing. It's can I build a relationship with it and be able to do that. I started out as a $99 guy, and it haunts me when I see the old receipts. I could easily said $199, $299, $399, $599, and they would have said yes. Yes, you are right. Thank you for the information on the website. Mr. Jamie, the way that you can convince them is by convincing yourself and believing. When someone asks, what is your name? You can answer it fast and confident. It is because you believe it's the thing. Listen to what he says about the yard signs. I made the mistake of buying somewhere else and paid twice that. Yep, I agree. Again, if you didn't know, you need a website, you need training, you can go to kingofpressurewash.com. And did you know every Monday night I do a Zoom call? Now, I know a lot of you don't believe this, or you've joined and not joined the Zoom call. There is a lot of value in the Zoom call. Originally, when I started this Zoom call, was to help people that were first starting out and trying to grow their business. And that was the reason why I started to do the Zoom call. And so from that, I have a group, my groupies, of about 20 to 30 people that show up every week. They're not brand new anymore. They have actually grown their business. Some are doing $500,000, some are doing $750,000, some are doing only $50,000, some are doing $20,000, right? But they show up every week and they learn and they grow, and that is key. In fact, one of my good people I haven't seen him here tonight, is Tristan, and he's actually coming into town this week. Is it this week? Yep, this week on Tuesday night. And so I'm going to go have dinner with him up in Dayton. And he is awesome. But he shows up every Monday night. And the reason why he shows up is because he's actually buying his third complex for rental properties. He's 24 years old, 25 years old. And so that is the value in that group. And so the goal is to come, answer questions, and get it on. What value are you giving in your group? Also, what's the price? It's $99 a month. You can get in, I got all my trainings in there. I've got hundreds of videos of training in there, all kind of in there. And then every Monday night is really where my value is, because that is where people are growing, learning, and growing, and doing what they need to do. Tristan, yes, Tristan is the man. Yes, and he comes every Monday night, and he asks more questions than anybody else. And you know how you learn? By asking stupid questions. And they're not all stupid questions. In fact, last week's question, it brought a lot of funny laughs, but he was serious, and we answered his question. And it was a question that I'd really never thought about, right? And his question was, Christmas lights we sell on emotion. We sell on the spirit of Christmas. We sell on that. And his question was, what emotion do we give people by selling them pressure washing? And so it was a conversation that went on for about 20 minutes. But it was a good conversation. We all got laughs, but it was a good conversation and makes you think about the psychology of people when they are buying and what emotion do we evoke by selling pressure washing. And there was all different kinds of thoughts out of the group, but it was a good discussion on what it is. And also, if you want to go back and watch any of those Monday night Zooms, I've got every Monday night. I'm on every Monday night Zoom. I've got them all recorded that you can go back and listen. And I usually do like a 10 or 15 minute marketing something, right? I'm going to give value. I'm going to bring value with marketing something. It might be Google, it might be Facebook, it might be something that I learned, it might be AI, it might be whatever it might be. What's the best location to put out yard signs, meetings? Should I put them out by HOA entrances or by Whole Food stores? Such things as that. And so what I always did is I put them out everywhere. I put them out at busy intersections. I put them out by churches. I put them out by schools. When school's in, I put them out everywhere, right? I just put them out everywhere. If I could pull over, I'd put them out. I like busy intersections is where I like. I didn't try to go by HOAs because usually they get pulled out. So I didn't put them there. I put them everywhere else. I just put them everywhere. I've been watching you for almost 6 years and helping to answer questions on here and helping to provide information. And that's the thing about F-Bomb. He shows up and he gives value. And I guarantee he learned something, maybe. Otherwise he wouldn't show up and poke at me, right? But usually we're always in agreement. And so it's about showing up. And, you don't have, if you've got questions, you can ask questions on any Sunday night. Every Sunday night, I go live. I go live on every Sunday night, and I go live every Wednesday night. Now, Wednesday night is my Christmas light channel, and sometimes I put it on my pressure washing channel. If it's something that is marketing and I can tie it to both, then I will put it out to both. But I'm kind of turning my Wednesday night into more of a Christmas light versus a pressure washing one. Mr. Rich, how are you doing, sir? It is awesome to see you in here tonight. Mr. Rich came to our Christmas light class and pressure washing class last year at our in-person class. And if you want to know when our in-person class is, you can go to KPW. That ain't it. That ain't it either. Where is it at? KPW Train will take you there. I have pressure washing and Christmas lights there. You can go check that out. I don't know. Oh, dates right here. KPW Train, I believe, will take you there. So it will take you there. Love the positivity. Very knowledgeable man. Thank you, sir. There is a couple churches I want to talk to about. Go talk to them then. What are you waiting on? Write it down and go do it. When are you going to do it? Are you going to do it tomorrow? Are you going to do it Tuesday? Or are you going to just set a date by next week? Set a date, make it happen. Don't sit there and keep wishing, because wishing ain't going to get it done. What's this? There is no value in Jason's content. All the guys that go to the training are making very little money and usually end up out of business. He will also remove you from Facebook group for nothing. Ha ha ha. No, I will remove you if you say stupid stuff. And here's the thing, if you're in my group and you try to come in and sell, you will be removed. You will be removed fast. I promise you. You will be removed so fast it ain't funny. I'm always learning, building up more knowledge. But yet Rich don't think so. So find Rich and let him know. Go comment on his stuff like he's wanting to comment on my stuff. Hey Jay, tell DJ I said hi. I will tell him that. Actually, he listens to almost every one of my lives also, so he might actually respond back also. So with that, I don't see any more questions. I'll do it Tuesday. Awesome. So tomorrow night you're going to come on to Monday Night Live, and by Tuesday you're going to go to those churches and find out who you are, right? You're going to go find out maybe who you got to go knock on the door, go call them, go email them, go do whatever you need to do. A disgrace to rich everywhere. What's your Facebook group? So if you're in my Christmas light one is at christmaslights.io/group is my Christmas light one, and my pressure washing one is pressure wash help. I've been working night shifts next to nights. Gotcha. Thanks, buddy. Yes. But other than that, I hope you all have an amazing week this week. It is July 4th. Please do not blow off your fingers this week. Please do not be stupid and blow out an eye. Please do not be stupid and climb a ladder and fall and hurt yourself. Please just don't get hurt at all. So be safe this week. Don't do nothing stupid. I know we got fireworks this week because it's the 4th of July. Don't go get drunk and get pulled over in a DUI, or worse, kill somebody and get charged with manslaughter. Please do not do these things. Be smart. Be awesome. Believe in yourself that you are awesome. Believe that you can do it. And go out there and be awesome. So, with that, hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you all later.